All right, check this out. So, how is a basketball story related to baseball? I was reading this basketball story about basketball cards of the 1981 1982 Topps basketball cards because, after that year, it says here that 30 years ago, Topps produced its last set of basketball cards for a decade. Wow. Fortunately, its 1981 1982 set is one of the most popular among sports card collectors. It says, as most sports cards collectors know, a 1980 federal court decision, Fleer versus Topps and MLBPA, ended the long monopoly of the Topps company, leading to the issuance of baseball cards by Topps competitors, most notably Fleer and Donruss. So apparently Topps had a monopoly. I did not know this. So this is why you won't find any Fleer or Fleer or Donruss cards or any other card companies prior to those years. Like, I never knew why, but it says for whatever reason, no other company immediately challenged Topps' similar dominance in basketball cards. So in the fall of 1981, for the 13th year and final time for a decade, Topps and only Topps released a card set featuring players of the National Basketball Association. Strangely, Topps chose to end an era of professional basketball cards that had begun in the 1969-70 season. Despite the absence of any competition, the 1981-82 set would be the last basketball cards issued by Topps until 1982. Luckily for collectors, the void was filled by Star Company beginning with the 83-84 season, Fleer in 86-87, and NBA Hoops in 89-90. No official reason has ever been given by the bigwigs at Topps for terminating its 13-year run of basketball cards. One theory, my own, is that the previous year's set fell so flat that Topps decided in the latter part of 1981 to pull the plug on basketball cards after the last gasp of the 1981-82 set. At the same time, a new era was beginning for the NBA. The league had hit a low point in the late 70s. It was so bad that NBA finals were not even broadcast live, but on tape delay at 11:30 at night. Fortunately, two savers arrived in the fall of 1979 to lead the NBA to heights of popularity unseen in league history. Their names were Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and they were soon joined by a third phenomenon named Michael Jordan. The three helped the league attain national and international popularity undreamed of prior to 1979. So Topps was in the strange position of ceasing production of NBA cards just when the market for them was expanding. The 81-82 set marked the return to conventional cards after the so bad it has to be seen to be believed 80-81 set. Each card of that set contained three players, which were meant to be detached into three individual panels, each less than the size of early tobacco cards such as T206. Many players appeared more than once in the set in different combinations, creating considerable confusion whether individual cards were separated or still intact. Needless to say, detached single cards are virtually worthless. Even though intended to be that way, collectors must have breathed a sigh of relief when opening their first pack of 81-82 basketball cards. Cards in the 81-82 set are attractive, especially when compared to the previous year's issue. There are no posed shots, only action shots taken before or during games. Even still poses are game shots, such as Calvin Murphy. The only other design on the front is a brightly colored starburst in the lower left corner with the player's name, position, and team in contrasting colors. For a handful of players who changed teams in the summer of 1981, there is a small yellow disc noting the player's team names, such as Scott Wedman, number 19, who is with the new team Cavaliers. The card backs are for better or worse, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, I thought this was an interesting story because it talked about the court case about baseball, how they had the dominance prior to that season until there was that lawsuit. I did not know that. I have been collecting cards for a long time, and you learn something new every day, sometimes by even looking at stuff about other sports. Fleer versus Topps and MLBPA 1980 Federal Court decision. Look it up if you're a sports collector. That should be very interesting for you to learn about and to just know what that was all about. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.